record holder for the most yards ever passing in a single game. Rohan Davey. Emmitt Smith joins us in studio.
It's the first time I played in such a place that had that much noise.
Jacques, throw a rock and you'll hit a 3-star cornerback in Louisiana.
Jacques Talk is sponsored by Locke Meredith Injury Lawyers.
Well, the nationally known Paul Finebaum, nice enough to give us some time today as LSU makes the big move. They targeted one guy. They landed him, Lane Kiffin. Paul, thanks for being with us today.
It's a pleasure to talk about my favorite subject.
Well, look, Lane Kiffin, he appeals to the part of us who doesn't want to grow up to an extent, but has proven he can be successful at a high level. You've gone back and forth with him over the years. He does say, I'm 50 years old. I feel like maybe I'm hitting my peak years, maturing like Nick Saban and Pete Carroll did. Just your overall thoughts on his press conference and being at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, LSU got who they wanted, which is always the most important thing. And he is an outstanding coach. He clearly wants the job. And I think the difference is today versus when Brian Kelly showed up. I mean, it was just awkward. We weren't really sure how Brian Kelly ended up in Baton Rouge. We know how Lane Kiffin got there because the sacrifices that are made along the way are significant. Now, yeah, sure. Everybody's got opinions about what we heard and saw, including me. Not really that important. We're not movie critics. Ultimately, the question that needs to be asked is, can Lane Kiffin win a national championship at LSU? And I think the easy answer is yes.
Is the LSU job the best in the country, or at least in the top 2 or 3, in your opinion?
I do believe it is. I've had many friends who have been with Nick Saban on occasion, and Nick Saban has said it's one of the 2 or 3 best jobs. And it is a place that you can win national championships. And Saban has said it to a number of people that had he stayed there, he would have probably retired the record of all time, because I think Nick Saban would have just obliterated the national championship record, but he didn't. He allowed Les Miles to win 1, should have won about 3. And he didn't. So that's not to say Alabama is difficult to win. Alabama has everything that LSU has, except LSU is just in a more unique geographical position where there's just not any competition. Alabama has Auburn. Alabama has schools all around it. LSU is a standalone state.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about Nick Saban for hours. Certainly the biggest what if in LSU history, if he would have stayed. People talk about it all the time. People who played for him, people who coached for him. It could have been a dynasty at LSU. Could he have done in Baton Rouge what he did at Alabama?
I believe Nick Saban would have done better because he left a national championship team behind. There's nothing would have changed. He would have still dominated. And when you think about the near misses under Les Miles, he won in 2007, should have won in 11, 12. Even a little bit later, as his career was floundering, he would have. So Nick Saban won 6 championships at Alabama. I think he would have won 8 or 9 at LSU.
Wow. Yeah, certainly Nick Saban, on one hand, what he gave LSU, and on the other, what he prevented LSU from winning. Les Miles, like you said, in 2011, he had a dynamite team, got stopped short, and on other occasions had some really blockbuster teams. And that team in the SEC West at the time in Tuscaloosa had to play him every year, and the greatest of all time was coaching him.
Yeah, and listen, and everybody likes to say, "Oh, Ed Orgeron won one," but I mean, Ed Orgeron was a great recruiter, and he was able to assemble that team. Saban could have done the same thing, and I just think Saban was such a good coach that he wouldn't have won it every year, but he would have come pretty close to being in the game. And that's think about Saban, the championships that he won before the playoffs. I mean, he was winning in one-offs.
Yeah. Real quick, Paul, it's my understanding that Ed Orgeron has great interest in coaching with Lane Kiffin at LSU as an assistant. Now, Orgeron is being mentioned for the Tulane job as well, the head coaching job. I would assume he'd take a head coaching job over an assistant. But would that not be glorious to have Ed Orgeron back on the LSU sideline?
Yes, I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, I was talking to Kiffin, and somehow Orgeron came up. And I said, I think I can't remember the exact year, but I said, is he really that good of a coach? And he about took my head off. He said, are you kidding me? He's one of the best, not only one of the best defensive line coaches I've ever seen, he's probably the best recruiter I've ever been around. So, Kiffin has always been just a massive Ed Orgeron fan. And I think it would help him. It would also give him somebody that has been around, understands the ways of LSU, and could maybe get him through some of the rough spots.
Yeah. On Kiffin now, I think you and him had your ultimate moment when he got fired at USC, right? On the tarmac, right? And he's always been viewed as an immature job hopper. What about now? Look, yesterday he said, look, I'm human. I don't like the fact that Ole Miss people are flipping me off at the airport. Could he have handled it better? Or is he a victim of the calendar? A little bit of both. Seems like it was going to be messy no matter how it went.
Listen, I'm really blessed and fortunate never to have been divorced, but I can imagine from the friends we both have had who had it's terrible. And this is even worse than Tennessee. Tennessee, he left in the middle of the night. This one he left with everybody knows to be true, the playoff in front of him. So there was never an easy way, but I think it also, if you want to look at the bright side, it shows you how badly he wanted this job.
Yeah. He's a celebrity, Paul. In today's, you work at ESPN, you know how much, whether it's superficial or not, they're putting emphasis on branding. How many followers do I have? This and that. In today's society, Lane Kiffin, what is to be said about having a guy as your head coach that everybody knows?
Lane Kiffin is the biggest name in college football. Yesterday, it didn't matter where it wasn't. Forget ESPN, NBC Evening News. There was this Kiffin story. I was on CNN Monday night. CNN. Right after war crimes against the defense secretary and the end of the Russian-Ukraine war. Okay, let's talk about Lane Kiffin. That's who he is, and it was all day. It didn't matter where you turned. It was about Lane Kiffin, and that is to his credit, and that's what he brings. And by the way, what is this all about? It's recruiting 17-year-olds and getting 18, 19, and 20 and 21-year-olds to come to your program, and everybody knows Lane Kiffin. That matters.
Well said. Brilliant play caller, right? Great offensive mind, runs plays early in the game to set you up for plays later in the game. If I'm Ole Miss, I'm like, man, that's what we're losing heading into this playoff right now. But just your thoughts on him as a head coach when he's on the sideline.
Yeah, he can be exasperating sometimes because he's very much a data-driven coach, but he still can make the best calls. And everybody appreciates the fact that he's the best play caller. He and Steve Sarkisian, I think, are both in that camp. And what did LSU need this year? They needed a little bit of creativity, and they didn't have it. And I think he will bring that. But I think he also knows that his quality of life will change. He had a nice life in Ole Miss. I've covered LSU, not long, but and you know it better than I do. But LSU fans don't expect anything other than championships, and that's great.
Yeah. Well, the media guy who summed it up perfectly, right? Ole Miss's ceiling is LSU's expectation, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I've covered them all. Ole Miss is a great school, but it's not LSU. And by the way, nothing really is LSU. Alabama is the only school that you can say in the same breath with LSU in terms of tradition, in terms of opportunity and potential.
Couple more things, I'll let you go. Appreciate it. You cover in college football. The game has changed so much in recent years. It just seems like some people, they say, I've had enough with the money, with the kids bouncing around different schools, the buyouts, the me, I, not about the team, but they still keep showing up. What is it like for you as a guy who, you've done the 70s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s? Do you still enjoy the sport as much as you used to, or is some of it turning you off?
Yeah, listen, I don't want to be a get off my lawn guy. Saturdays are still the best day of the week. There's nothing like it from 11 o'clock till midnight. The rest of the week is pretty disturbing at times, but you have to accept it. And that's what makes the great coaches good. Kirby Smart's adaptable. Lane Kiffin's adaptable. They're not sitting around going, it was better here. I mean, my first beat, let me take you back, was Charlie McClendon's last year at LSU. I've seen a lot.
Well, you think of Charlie Mack, right? And the guys, I sent my kid off to college, and Charlie Mack was a father figure, and he took me in. I'm thinking of Pat Dye, Vince Dooley, guys like that.
Yeah.
Now, that element, I don't want to say it's completely gone, but some people say they're all mercenaries. The coaches are mercenaries. The players are mercenaries. The whole college thing is kind of a farce.
Yeah. But the media are mercenaries too, just to make it to make this fair. It's just the way it is. I talk to fans every day of the week. You broadcast to big sports fans. They don't care. They just care about their team. How are we doing? The rest of the stuff, they're mostly immune to it.
I agree. Paul, LSU's going to gather up in the north end zone, and they're going to run out, and there's going to be 102,000 tickets purchased. That's not going to change.
No. And by the way, I mean, it's long after I'm gone and long after you're gone, it's still going to be the same, no matter how convoluted the system is.
Paul, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, man.
Chuck, my pleasure. Thank you.